pretty good going down. But what a turnaround save and great acrobatics by Luongo.
Big time. Still 0-0. Now it's 4-on-4 for 44 seconds. That's the time left in O'Brien's penalty. Henrik Sedin won the draw. He and Daniel on the ice with Bieksa and Olin. Puck's dumped into the corner for Daniel Sedin to Henrik. McKee's not going to chase him. In comes Olin off the blue line. In comes Bieksa. Only man back at the blue line was Daniel. The centering pass off the side of the net from Daniel Sedin. He'll cycle back to Henrik. Both defensemen jump again. Olin to the front of the net. Bieksa's there as well. Olin shoots. That was deflected. And in behind the net. Roman Polak. Chased by Henrik Sedin. Jay McKee. Andy McDonald with some speed to center. Lets Keith Tkachuk carry the puck. Polak shot the puck in deep. Vancouver's on a power play now. For just over a minute. 0 for 1 in the game, 1 for 7 in the series. Matthias Olin dumps the puck in and heads off. Kessler to Dimitra. Bieksa with Sundin at the side of the net. Pavel Dimitra on the outside. Ryan Kessler. Kevin Bieksa. Alex Edler. Slap pass. Kessler in front. Tipped just wide by Dimitra. And the Blues are able to clear the puck.
Jim, Dimitra wasn't committed to that play. He was backing up, and in doing so didn't really force his arms through it and just chipped it up high and wide.
A glorious opportunity. So there's been a couple at both ends. Here's Dimitra again. In front, Edler shoots, missed the net. Sammy Salo holds the puck in, turns, slap pass, tipped just wide by Max Sundin, and Chris Mason pounces on the loose puck at the side of the net. Kessler shaking his hand as though he got slashed.
Well, some nifty work by Pavel Dimitra to start this play off, and he ends up on a little pick play, going hard to the net. Quick puck movement, nice slap pass by Edler, but this is one that you just got to stay on your bottom hand and put that one in. Another tip by Sundin just misses, and a tough little sequence there for Chris Mason. He talked about coming into this series, Jim, how hard he'd have to look behind the net because of all the cycle plays. That was probably one of his most difficult, trying to find that puck going side to side.
Late in the Vancouver power play, they win the draw again. Alexander Edler gets a return pass from Daniel Sedin. Burrows parked in front. Henrik at the side of the net. Daniel. Henrik. In comes Salo. Daniel shoots. That's blocked. Alexander Edler slap pass. Sedin. His shot knocked out of the air. Waved off. The puck hopped up in the air. It's batted in by a hand, and the play was waved off immediately as the penalty expired. And I don't think there'll be much argument about this. It's a 0-0 tie, but that doesn't mean nothing is happening on Hockey Night in Canada from Vancouver. 13 apiece, score is 0-0. The goaltenders, who were the first two stars of the week in the NHL last week, have both been excellent.
You mentioned, rarely do you have a game where you haven't seen a puck go in the net yet, but there's been tons of action, great emotion, super energy, and great saves at both ends.
And this is just the second game of the playoffs. Barrett Jackman. Keith Tkachuk can't handle that skipper at center. Matthias Olin. TJ Oshie went up in the air to knock the puck down. Too many men on the ice for St. Louis.
Yeah, way too quick. And one of the reasons, Jim, is the puck came towards the bench.
And they're trying to match, so they're changing on the fly to get their matchup, and they get caught.
There's no disputing this one. Barrett Jackman's going to argue, but immediately when I looked up, there's 6 guys on the ice, and the puck came right into that vicinity. And these are ones that usually end up costing you. You don't mind killing off a good hard-fought penalty. Here's the changing that you're talking about. As TJ Oshie's coming off and he goes to play it, and the defensemen are changing, and already Carlo Koliakovo had come onto the ice as Roman Polak was going off, so that's a good call.
President of the Blues, John Davidson. It's got to be tough when you've been a former player to sit and watch in his position. There's not a thing he can do.
No, and these, as I said, are the ones that are the most difficult to kill. They seemingly end up in the back of your net.
JD will be along to LeBron in our second intermission. Trying to get that defensive pair off because they saved Polak and Jackman for the Sedins, and they weren't on the ice. There's Daniel Sedin to Henrik Sedin. Steve Bernier with them on the power play. He's in the front of the net. Tipped there by Heino. Sammy Salo. Henrik Sedin. Bieksa shoots. Mason with a save. Rebound is loose. Still loose in front. Salo shoots. Blocked in front of the net. And the puck is loose again, and Mike Weaver clears it.
Jim, amazingly, Mason with a spectacular save, but once again had no idea where the rebound was. I mean, I think for a second he might even thought it was still in his glove, but it was right in his feet. Somehow that puck stayed out.
Evan Bieksa shot the puck in, knocked down by Barrett Jackman and cleared. Luongo will play it because David Backes is the first man coming towards the puck. A regroup for the Canucks, their second power play units on the ice. Matt Sundin with Kessler and Wellwood. TJ Oshie, David Backes, hard around and out.
And that's a play there where Matt Sundin has to take that hit and try to make a play. Instead, he tried to go around McKee and made an easy defensive play for McKee.
Alexander Edler. The shoot in. Kessler and Sundin arrive at the puck. Sundin to Kessler and back. He's trying to relay it up the boards, but it was blocked by B.J. Crombie. The Canucks get lucky to get it back. Edler. Sundin. Kessler goes to the front of the net. Kyle Wellwood, Sundin, Edler, one-timer, tipped wide of the net. Jay McKee got a piece of that. There's Kyle Wellwood. Edler, one-timer. This time he hit his own man, Kessler, and the puck is cleared by the Blues. They're just about through this penalty for too many men on the ice. Sedin's come back on. Edler's pass, pleased by everyone. Penalty's over. David Perron serving and is back on. 5-on-5 again in a scoreless tie. Late stages of the second. David Perron. Mitchell's trying to deal with him. Jackman pinches down for St. Louis and threw the puck at the net. Andy McDonald waiting for Tkachuk to arrive, and a good play there by Alex Burrows at the side of the net. Mitchell to Olin as the Blues change on the fly. Good hustle by Boyce to keep this play alive inside the line, and he's got the puck again. Checked by Olin, they both go down. Mitchell, Daniel Sedin into the skates of Burrows, but Henrik is there. Pass for Daniel Sedin is in the air. Jackman is there. Burrows to the net. Mason made himself big and made the easy save. And Henrik Sedin ends up in the back of the net, where no puck has been legally at either end on hockey night.
Tonight's Subway Restaurants bio subtitled Everyone Loves Kyle. Kyle Wellwood's drawing rave reviews for adapting as a third-line checking center, although his line has looked like nothing close to a checking line tonight, more of an offensive force. And by the way, Wellwood has lived in an apartment hotel the entire season, says he never felt confident enough to get a place, wasn't sure he'd be here after the deadline, but says Jim that uncertainty made him a better player.
He's been a very valuable player with their third line broken up to put Kessler and Burrows on the first two. Johnson wins the draw. Edler takes the shot. Mason makes the save. What will it take to beat one of these goaltenders who've been so good? Shane O'Brien for Vancouver. Fanned on his shoot-in. Backhands it in. Roman Polak. Flushed out by Rick Rippon. Barrett Jackman just got the puck to center. Berglund. B.J. Crombie off the boards. Flutters one into the glove of Roberto Luongo, and he hangs on. Coming up later tonight, CBC News, The National with Mark Kelly. You can also catch an extra edition of The National at 10 p.m. Eastern on CBC News World or anytime at cbc.ca/national.
Jim, you mentioned what's it going to take to get one past either of these goaltenders. You have to think it's going to be one that they don't see. I mean, they're both tracking the puck so well. They've had all kinds of traffic in front, and the acrobatics of Roberto Luongo with his leg saves and Chris Mason finding that puck through traffic has been fantastic to watch.
Boyes holds the puck in. Willie Mitchell for Vancouver. Boys and Backus team up against him. Backus centering just out of the reach of Andy McDonald. McKee tries to hold the puck in and can't. Pouncing on it is Raymond, but the reach of Wojciechowski beat him to the puck. Back in comes Backus in the Blues top line. Brad Boyes up against Steve Bernier. Turns back again. He's got McDonald with him. Gives him the puck and the shot rings off the post. A great shot in a hurry. McDonald again. Pokes the puck back to Jay McKee. In for Backus. Willie Mitchell slaps at the puck. Raymond couldn't get it out. Boyes holds it in against Kyle Wellwood. Brad Boyes centering off a skate. Jay McKee with a crowd in front. Passes off. McDonald shoots. That's blocked by Mitchell. Good shift here for St. Louis top line. Jay McKee waiting for traffic to the net. Tipped right on. Backus tipped it. Luongo stopped it. And Sammy Salo clears the puck. Top line got the better at the checking line that time. In comes Brad Winchester with a shot that's deflected again by Sammy Salo. Out of play.
Well, you mentioned the Young Guns having one of their best shifts recently. That's by far the best shift for this group. A good tip by Backus almost went through Roberto Luongo, but the best opportunity. Look at the traffic in front. Luongo trying to find a way through Mitchell. Good kick out by McDonald, the quick release, and he got it up and over the goaltender. But as goalies always say, that's all I gave you was the goal post.
There's Koliakovo holding the puck in with a shot. There's a rebound, loose in front. It's still loose. And out of the dog pile comes Pavel Demitra with the puck. Ryan Kessler, Sundin drives the net. Dimitra's pass, tip, he scores! Matt Sundin! That's a waist-high tip-in for Matt Sundin.
Well, how many times do you see this? A scoring chance at one end. Kachuk's draped all over Luongo. The play goes back the other way. A give and go between Kessler and Demitra, and a harmless-looking shot. A good hand-eye by Matt Sundin, and a rolling puck that finds its way. Look at that, how close it was to getting a piece of it was Chris Mason, and he falls in disgust. Good hand-eye. The puck bounces up between the legs, and this one, as most goaltenders do, Jim, Mason knew he didn't have control of it, reached back, but in vain as the puck trickled through and over the line.
His first playoff goal as a Canuck, his first playoff goal in 5 years. At 18:04 of the second period, after Luongo had made some brilliant saves and got a goal post too. That's what it took to finally beat one of these goaltenders. And now a penalty call, an interference call, and the St. Louis Blues will be shorthanded again. B.J. Crombeen for interference on Alex Burrows, and this game is starting to conspire against the St. Louis Blues.
And you talk so often about inexperience and youth. And with the crowd going crazy and everything there, just the interference call as Crombeen got in the way. I mean, you got to make an effort to get out of the way. Burrows sells it hard and goes hard into the boards. That probably created more of a notion for the referee than anything. But a heads-up play by Burrows and a bad penalty by Crombeen.
Minute 29 to go into period. Canucks get the draw on the power play. Alexander Edler over to Matthias Ohlund. The crowd forms in front of the net. Demitra kicks off to the side. Kessler's one-timer and a nice save. Edler, Sundin shoots. He missed the net from an angle. And Matthias Ohlund can't hold the puck in.
Oh, big saves by Mason there, digging in and getting a piece of that one.
Pavel Demitra in deep. Ryan Kessler and Sundin converge upon the puck along the boards. Weaver swats at it and pokes it loose. And Jay McClement makes sure he gets it out. Ohlund to Demitra. Just got out of the way of the 5-trained Jackman. But he gets up and gets the puck. Feeds Matthias Ohlund. Screen is set up in front of the net. Bernier is there. Henrik Sedin's come on, looks towards the net, try to pass. Backus blocked it. And the Blues clear it.
What a great play by Backes. He knew the fact that Sedin wasn't going to shoot. He was looking for the pass, and as soon as he moved, he closed quickly and had a good, solid stick.
Here's Daniel Sedin. Bernier goes to the net. Canucks